Flametail is a 6-star pioneer vanguard that drives me nuts. Legends say that news reporters at the Kazimierz Major no longer interview her because she always dodges their questions, but there is much more to this speedy squirrel than just an RNG hellhole. She wholeheartedly protects the virginity of your blue box and has evaded the KGCC for so long that she certainly knows how to find a few back doors. Specializing in survivability and fueling my insatiable need for more Yuri, Flametail thrives where other vanguards would not, right in the enemy's face, because it's only at this distance that you can hear the faint yet steady beating of a pure and determined heart that still embodies that wonderfully romantic yet hopelessly naive ideal of a true knight. Flametail's third skill, Flameheart, generates 1 DP per second for 8 seconds, reduces attack interval, attack up, block up, and gains 80% physical and art dodge. A great shortcut for figuring out how good an operator's skill is to count how many words in its description are a different color. Flameheart has 5 different colored words, meaning that it gets a high 5 for driving me insane. Jesus Take the Wheel turns Flametail into a lean, mean fighting machine, avoiding her foes with ice in her veins and blasting back, wearing the warmest smile you've ever seen. Which will certainly warm you up for the real star of the show, Vanguard Swordsmanship. After dodging an attack, her next attack deals damage twice and hits a number of enemies equal to her block count, and with her third skill active, that means she can simultaneously headbutt 3 members of Pinus Sylvestris whilst riding on the 4th. Vanguard Swordsmanship is an integral part of Flametail's damage output, and obviously it excels against enemies like Raiden, or when Flametail is blocking the entire Ugandan army. However, because it is so integral to Flameheart's damage, she can feel inconsistent at times as her offensive power is subsequently locked behind RNG. Regardless, Flameheart is an incredibly powerful skill that really puts the nut in your squirrel, but it's not the only thing Flametail has stored for the winter. Enter her second skill, haha funny penis joke. Give all her closest friends a gambling addiction, deal damage twice to up to 6 enemies, and stun them for just as long as I would last with her in bed. Pinus Sylvestris is Flametail's way of funding your overpriced obsessions. Compared to Flameheart, Pinus Sylvestris generates more DP over time because unlike Flameheart, it doesn't have a duration and gives more points. This is easily proven by this graph where I plot the correlation of squirrel girls in my search history versus the moments where Flametail related content was released. Additionally, you might think that a 0.5 second stun is about as useful as Flametail's midriff when you're home alone, and you'd be correct, as keep in mind that a well-timed stun can convince certain enemies to unalive themselves. The 50% physical dodge is fantastic before you realize that you've just placed your squeaky clean, freshly bleached blue box into the hands of RNGesus himself. If you're actively using this skill to make sure someone stays alive, then I wish you the best, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Flametail's first skill, by the way, is Attack Up. I mean, quick intuition. However, any level of intuition, no matter the velocity, is enough to tell you that this skill is completely useless. Oh, wait a moment, wait. So, I recorded this on the night of the 21st. And the rest of the line here was that, "It is now a ticking time bomb for various hardcore players to try and prove me wrong. I look forward to whatever they can come up with." But then I wake up on the 22nd, and I see this in my Twitter feed. Faye has somehow used quick intuition in a Zalak clear of NLEX8 challenge mode. Yeah, I don't have a joke for this anymore. Yeah. Moving on. Her second talent is a Pinus Sylvestris leader. When deployed, all Kazimierz operators gain 25% physical dodge. If you're unaware of who counts as a Kazimierz operator, then please pause the video right now. Would also be a fantastic time to remind you that independent chances to dodge are rolled separately until either one of them succeeds or they all fail. What I'm saying is that no, she does not have 105% physical dodge with her third skill on. But even though Flametail deserves 105% of your time, trust, and affection, the obvious question when it comes to any Vanguard is why even use them when you have Miss I'm aware of how broken I am, or Miss Rhodes Island is huge, which isn't really saying much, or Miss I'm not gonna claim that Flametail is the best Vanguard. The meta exists for a reason. It is literally the most effective tactics available. But Flametail reserves a special spot in the Vanguard lineup due to her unparalleled survivability, and the fact that her tail is infinitely fluffier than whatever pathetic thing these guys have to offer. Now, I am aware that there are certain Vanguards, such as Granny, who are pretty fucking tanky for a Vanguard and definitely need to be nerfed. But Flametail's specialty is being self-sufficient and being able to stand up against the enemy's 5th level magic missile. Similar to the other 6-star Vanguards, Flametail's overall power allows her to stay relevant well into a stage, contributing damage and tossing a coin to her bitches who do the slaying for her. However, as I said earlier, Flametail is notorious for not showing up when the Fire Nation attacks, failing her dodges when we needed them the most. An 80% chance to dodge is a lot, but it's still only 80%. Whenever Flametail is on the field, she introduces a whole host of randomness that is only compounded if you happen to bring other Kazimierz operators as well, which you are. Basically, you are continuously performing dexterity saving throws every time an enemy looks at her, and I don't really blame them, but you can entice Sona into dodging more often by proposing a friendly wager, which her competitive spirit simply cannot refuse. If she fails the dodge, then she has to show me how she usually dresses. If she succeeds, then I have to tell her and Justina all about Rhodes Island's shady business practices that allow us to stay profitable. It's crack. We sell crack. Flametail currently does have one of her modules, by the way, the Origins of Apinus Sylvestris, which sounds like it was written by Charles Darwin. She gains the standard Sol Y base module, which is -4 cost on first deployment. Why is the abbreviation SOL? You tell me. It's probably short for solar powered or something, because she certainly brightens up my day with that great personality. The upgrades cause the empowered attacks from Vanguard Swordsmanship to deal even more damage, which is great because it doesn't normally do that, and it is a damage multiplier. It also multiplies the pain you receive when she doesn't dodge, and her attacks hit almost as softly as that wonderful tail brushing all over my face. Overall, Flametail is a fantastic Vanguard that greatly frustrates me. She works until she doesn't, she's insane until she's not, she carries you hard, then makes you harder, but it's all worth it in the end because Sona will save you in that clutch moment, she will pull through when it matters most, and she will continue to cry in her room. I mean, bring hope and love to her disadvantaged countrymen with a smile on her face and our hearts in her hand. All that's left to say now is that, yes, Flametail, Ashley is coming with. She's literally right there next to you in the squad. She's coming along. Just open your fucking eyes.